If your headlights have gone cloudy, that yellow, foggy, milky look almost every car over 8 years old has, you are currently driving at night on about 22% of the light you're supposed to have. That's not my estimate. AAA put aged headlights on a lab bench, tested them against the federal standard, and found that deteriorated lenses on low beam put out roughly 22% of what a new headlight does. You're driving on a fifth of your light. And here's what makes that number matter. Nearly half of all fatal crashes in this country happen at night, even though we only do about a quarter of our driving after dark. So you go looking for a fix, and YouTube hands you a video with a shocking promise. A $1 powder that makes foggy headlights crystal clear, permanently, and Big Auto doesn't want you to know about it. I looked into that video, and I need to show you 3 things. 1. The $1 powder is not $1, it's not permanent, and the exact same video exists with the price swapped to $3, because the number is made up. 2. The link in that video doesn't even sell you the powder, it sells you an ebook. That's not a hack, that's a funnel. And 3, the part that actually worries me, there's another viral headlight hack circulating right now that doesn't just fail, it physically melts your headlights. Permanently. I'll show you which one, because if you've got that bottle in your garage right now, you need to hear this before you touch your car with it. Then, I'm giving you what actually works. The real cheap fix, its real cost, its real lifespan, and the one step almost everybody skips. That's the entire difference between headlights that stay clear for 3 years and headlights that go yellow again by next month. Let's start with why this happens at all, because once you see it, every fake fix falls apart on its own. 90 seconds of what's physically happening, and I promise it makes you immune to every scam in this video. Your headlights aren't glass, haven't been for decades. Modern headlight lenses are polycarbonate, a tough, lightweight plastic that survives rock strikes that would shatter glass. Great trade. But polycarbonate has one serious weakness: ultraviolet light destroys it. Raw polycarbonate sitting in the sun goes yellow and brittle. The manufacturers know this, so every headlight leaves the factory with a thin, hard UV-blocking coating sprayed over the plastic. Think of it as factory sunscreen. That coating isn't decoration. It's the only thing standing between the sun and the plastic. And like sunscreen, it wears out. Sun. Road grit at 70 miles an hour. Winter salt. Harsh car wash chemicals. Over roughly 3 to 5 years, that clear coat thins, cracks, and starts failing, usually in patches, which is why some headlights look blotchy before they look yellow. Once the coating is gone, UV hits raw plastic, and you get something called photooxidation. The sunlight literally breaks the polymer chains at the surface. The plastic micro-cracks. Light hitting those millions of tiny cracks scatters instead of passing through. That scattering is the fog. That's the yellow. Your headlight bulb is still perfectly fine, still burning the same brightness. The light just can't get out anymore. And now, hold that thought, because this single fact is the lie detector for every headlight hack you will ever see. The haze is damaged plastic on the surface, and the protection that stopped it is gone. Which means any real fix has to do 2 things: remove the damaged layer and then replace the protection. Every fake fix does only the first one, or worse, none of them. That's the whole game. Anybody who sands, scrubs, polishes, or dissolves that surface and doesn't put protection back on has just taken the sunscreen off a sunburn and sent you back outside. It'll look great in the driveway that afternoon, and it will be yellow again fast, because now the bare plastic has zero defense. One more distinction before we go hunting, because it decides whether you can fix your car at all. Wipe your hand across the lens. If the haze is on the outside, rough, chalky, you can feel it. That's oxidation. And everything in this video applies to you. But if the outside is smooth and the cloudiness is inside, moisture, water droplets, a foggy film you can't touch, stop. That's a failed seal letting water into the housing, and no amount of sanding the outside will ever clear it. Different problem, and I'll tell you exactly what to do about it later. Alright, let's go take that viral video apart. The claim: a $1 powder makes your headlights crystal clear, permanently, and the industry is hiding it. 4 parts, all 4 fail. Part 1. what the powder actually is. It's cerium oxide. And cerium oxide is real. It's a genuine, respected polishing compound that's been used for a century. For glass. It's what people use to polish scratches out of glass windows, camera lenses, watch crystals. It's excellent at that job. But your headlights aren't glass. We just covered that. They're polycarbonate plastic. And here's the thing about a compound engineered to cut glass. Glass is dramatically harder than plastic. Manufacturers of cerium oxide say so directly. One supplier's own product description states, and I'm quoting, that it's an optical-grade zinc-free compound for hand polishing glass, and that it is not suitable for glass containers or plastics. That's not my opinion about their product. That's their label. I'll be fair here because this channel doesn't do straw men. There are a couple of very fine-grade cerium formulas that claim careful use on hard plastics, and some people have gotten an okay result being extremely gentle. But the video promising you a miracle isn't teaching gentle technique on a specialty formula. It's telling you to scrub bare plastic with a glass compound, and even when it does knock the haze off. That brings us to the real problem. Part 2. Permanently. This is the lie that matters most, and it's not close. Remember the science. The haze is damaged plastic, and the factory UV coating is already gone. When you abrade that surface, with cerium oxide, with toothpaste, with sandpaper, with anything, you remove the damaged layer, and you also remove whatever fragments of protective coating were left. What you're left with is fresh, bare, completely unprotected polycarbonate. It looks fantastic, for a few weeks, because now the sun is hitting raw plastic with zero sunscreen, and photooxidation doesn't just resume, it runs faster than before. People who do abrasive-only fixes routinely report the yellow coming back within a month or two. Some report worse than they started. Permanent is precisely exactly backwards. Without a sealing step, it's the least permanent fix in this entire video. Part 3. Is it even $1? No. Actual cerium oxide powder runs somewhere around $8 to $21 for a small tub, depending on size and grade. Not $1. And here's the detail that told me everything. That same video format exists with the price swapped out. One channel says $1, another says $3. Same claims, same structure. The price isn't a fact they discovered. It's a hook they picked. When two versions of the same discovery can't agree on the number, you're not watching research. You're watching a template. Part 4. Big Auto doesn't want you to know. Here's the honest reality. Headlight restoration is one of the most openly sold services in the entire car world. Every auto parts store sells kits on the shelf. Walmart sells them. Home Depot sells them. AAA publishes studies about them. Detailers advertise the service on their front windows. There is no suppression. There's no secret. There's an aisle. So why the conspiracy framing? Follow the link. That video's description points to an affiliate page. And that page doesn't sell you the miracle powder at all. It sells a digital ebook and the video's creator gets a cut when you buy it. The secret the industry is hiding is a commission. That's the whole architecture. Manufacture a villain, promise a miracle, take a percentage. Now, I'm not telling you this to dunk on somebody. I'm telling you because you came here with foggy headlights and a real safety problem, and you deserve to know which advice is engineering and which is marketing. So let's go through the rest of the hacks, because one of them is genuinely dangerous and I want that one out of your garage today. 4 more viral headlight hacks. I'm giving each an honest verdict because 2 of them do something real. One does nothing, and one of them causes damage you cannot undo. Toothpaste. Honest verdict, it genuinely works. A little, for a little while. Toothpaste contains mild abrasives designed to polish tooth enamel, and on a lightly hazed lens, those abrasives do knock down surface oxidation. If your headlights are mildly cloudy and you've got 20 minutes before you sell the car or drive somewhere important tonight, toothpaste and elbow grease will give you a visible improvement. That's real, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. What it can't do, reach deep oxidation, and, say it with me, put protection back on. So you're looking at days to a few weeks before the haze returns. Toothpaste is a shave, not a cure. Fine for what it is, just don't expect it to hold. WD-40. Verdict: cosmetic illusion, and it comes with a cost. Spray it on a foggy lens and the haze visibly clears, which is why the clips look so convincing. But nothing was removed. The oil is simply filling in the microscopic cracks so light passes through instead of scattering. It's the same reason a scratched countertop looks fixed when it's wet. First rain, first wash, sometimes just a few days of dust. It's gone, and the oily film left behind grabs road grime and can scatter your beam into oncoming driver's eyes. It doesn't damage the plastic, so it's not dangerous. It's just not a fix. It's makeup. Baking soda and vinegar. Verdict: mostly theater. The fizzing looks like chemistry doing something dramatic. What's actually happening is a very mild scrub that lifts surface grime. Real oxidation is deeper than that. You'll get a marginal improvement, no protection, and a short life. Harmless, but it's the weakest thing on this list. And now the one that actually scares me: bug spray. DEET. You'll see this one presented as the miracle. Spray insect repellent on the lens, wipe, and the yellow melts away. That verb is doing more work than the person saying it realizes, because that is literally what's happening. DEET is a solvent, and polycarbonate, your headlight, is one of the plastic's DEET attacks. When you wipe bug spray across your lens, you are not removing oxidation. You are chemically dissolving the surface of the plastic itself. The instant clarity comes from melted plastic flowing into the cracks, plus the oils in the spray filling the rest. Here's how it ends. The solvent strips every remaining bit of UV coating. The surface stays slightly soft and tacky, so it grabs dirt, and then it rains. And multiple people have reported their headlights blooming into a thick, cloudy white haze dramatically worse than what they started with the plastic looking, in one owner's words, like it had melted. Because it had. Sanding can fix oxidation. Sanding cannot fix a lens whose surface has been chemically dissolved and rehardened wrong. That's a replacement. And the same spray will happily damage your paint, your trim, and your rubber seals on the way past. So, bug spray on your headlights. Never. Not as a shortcut, not just this once, not in an emergency. That is the one hack in this entire video that turns a $100 problem into a $400 one. If somebody in your life has that clip saved, send them this timestamp. All right, enough of what doesn't work. Here's what does, and what it actually costs. Here's the honest headline, and it's the reason this video's title says the viral one is a lie. There is no genuine $1 permanent fix. The real number is about $15 to $25. That buys you a fix that lasts 1 to 3 years instead of 1 to 3 weeks. Anybody promising permanent for $1 is selling you something. And the fix has 3 steps, but only one of them is the secret. I'll flag it when we get there. Step 1. Cut off the damaged layer, wet sanding. Tape off the paint around the lens. Masking tape is a 2-minute investment that prevents a paint correction problem. Then wet sand in stages, keeping the paper and the lens wet the whole time. Start around 400 grit to cut the oxidation off, then 600, then 1,000, then 2,000, finishing with 2,500 or 3,000 to refine. Each stage removes the scratches from the last one, which is why you can't skip grits and why the lens will look terrifyingly cloudy in the middle of this process. That's normal. You're grinding damaged plastic away and leaving a uniform, matte, clean surface. Step 2. Polish it clear. A plastic polishing compound and a cloth, or a drill attachment if you have one, brings that matte finish to full clarity. This is the step that makes the before and after photo, and this is exactly where every viral hack stops and declares victory. Step 3. And this is the one everybody skips, the entire difference in this video. Seal it with UV protection. You just strip the plastic completely bare. It now has zero defense against the exact thing that ruined it the first time. If you stop here, you have made your headlights beautiful and defenseless, and the sun will start over immediately. That's the whole reason people report, "I restored them, and they were yellow again in a month." They didn't fail at restoring, they just never protected. So you seal it. 2 good options. The cheapest is a UV-resistant clear coat, a rattle can, ideally a 2-part 2K automotive clear. laid down in light passes. That's the setup people report lasting 2 to 5 years, and it's why some folks never have to do this again on a car they own. The other option is a dedicated ceramic headlight coating from a restoration kit. And that brings me to the low-effort version, which, for most of you, is the right call. Dedicated ceramic restoration kits, the Cerakote-style one-step kits, run about $16 to $18 at the same auto parts stores selling everything else in this video. They include the abrasives and, crucially, a ceramic UV coating in the same box. 30 to 60 minutes for the pair, no power tools required. Real-world reports put them commonly in the 2 to 4 year range on cars parked outside, with some getting less on badly degraded old lenses. And the good ones back it with a warranty that replaces the kit if it fogs again while you own the car. So the honest ladder, cheapest first. Toothpaste is $2 and buys you weeks. A ceramic kit is about $17, takes under an hour, and buys you a couple of years. Wet sand plus 2K clear is $15 to $25 in materials, takes an hour or so, and is the most durable DIY there is. And AAA's own numbers back the range up. They put restoration anywhere from about $20 doing it yourself to around $190 having it done professionally. Every single one of those is cheaper than the alternative. And the alternative is where we're going next, because sometimes restoration is the wrong answer entirely. 3 situations where sanding is a waste of your Saturday, and knowing them saves you from doing a beautiful job on a lens that was never going to come back. 1. The fog is on the inside. Smooth outside, cloudy inside, maybe actual water droplets or a tide line at the bottom. That's a failed seal. The housing is letting moisture in. Sanding the outside does nothing. That's a reseal or a replacement, and it's also a warning. Standing water inside a headlight housing corrodes reflectors and kills bulbs early. 2. The reflector is dead. Shine a flashlight in there. If the mirror-like chrome behind the bulb looks burned, dull, spotted, or peeling, the lens isn't your problem. The part that aims your light is failing. No surface work touches that. 3. The lens is cracked or pitted so deep you can catch a fingernail in it. You'd sand halfway through the lens chasing that, and a cracked lens will keep pulling water in. In any of those 3, price a replacement assembly before you buy sandpaper. For a lot of common vehicles, an aftermarket assembly runs roughly $50 to $150 for the part, and on plenty of cars, it's a handful of bolts and a connector. Here's the honest trade-off. AAA measured. Quality aftermarket assemblies restored light output to somewhere around 83 to 90% of new, while genuine manufacturer parts hit 100%. And the cheaper aftermarket ones were more likely to throw glare at oncoming traffic. So on a car you're keeping, OEM is genuinely worth the extra. On a 10-year-old commuter, quality aftermarket is a rational, honest call. And now the part that separates this video from every restoration tutorial you've ever watched, including the good ones. Restoring your headlights fixes your vision. AAA measured that restoration brings output back to roughly 70% of new, a massive gain from 22. But their testing also found something the tutorials never mention. Both professional and DIY restoration produced more glare than the federal standard allows. Even brand new aftermarket assemblies were more likely to glare than the factory parts. Why? The fine surface texture and the way a restored lens scatters light isn't identical to a factory molded one, so some of your light goes where the engineers never intended, including into the eyes of the driver coming the other way. What that means for you, practically: absolutely restore your headlights. 22% to 70% is a night and day safety improvement, and the glare cost is small next to it. But do the sealing step properly instead of leaving raw sanded plastic. Don't over-sand more than you need, and check your aim afterward. Park facing a wall. And if your beams sit noticeably higher than they used to, most cars have a simple adjuster screw on the housing. And if your lenses are severely degraded, deep pitting, crazing all over, replacement genuinely outperforms restoration, both for your light and for everyone else's eyes. That's the honest version. Not because it's fun to complicate a good hack, but because your headlights point at other human beings. Quick, honest aside, because everything today follows the same pattern: a viral fix that's really a funnel, a real fix that costs $20, and one step in the middle that decides whether it lasts. That's the whole reason the Complete Driver's Defense Kit exists. The 20-minute fixes guide in it covers jobs exactly like this one. The real steps, the real costs, and a "when this won't work" box on every single fix, so you never spend a Saturday on the wrong problem. It's also got every dashboard warning light, ranked by how fast you actually have to act, the 15 check engine codes you'll really meet with the cheap cause to rule out first, the noise diagnosis chart, and a printable fair price card for the glove box. So, when a shop quotes you $400 for headlight assemblies, you already know what's fair. 9 guides, a printable pack, $39, one time. First link in the description. It's the glove box version of not getting sold to. Now, your cars. The situations that fill every headlight comment section. I restored mine, and they were yellow again in 2 months. You skipped step 3, or the kit you used didn't include a real UV coating. That's not a failure of your work. That's bare plastic doing exactly what bare plastic does. Redo it, and this time finish with a clear coat or a ceramic seal. Same afternoon, different outcome. One headlight is way worse than the other. Extremely common and completely logical. One side gets more direct sun, usually the side facing the street or the afternoon sun where you park. Sun exposure is the clock. Do both anyway. Matched clarity matters for how the beam pattern reads on the road, and the good one is already on its way. Mine are cloudy on the inside. Can I put something in there? No, and please don't. Cloudy inside means a failed seal. Some people do open the housing, dry it out, and reseal it with butyl. That's genuinely doable if you're patient, and it's the cheap route. But there's no spray, powder, or hack that clears the inside of a sealed lens from the outside, and drilling drain holes invites more dirt and water in. How long does the ceramic kit really last? Honest answer with the range intact. Commonly 2 to 4 years on a car that lives outside, longer if it's garaged, and noticeably less on lenses that were already heavily degraded before you started, because you're sealing over plastic that's further gone. The single biggest variable is how thoroughly you sanded the damage off before sealing. Rushing step 1 shortens step 3. Is it worth it? Or should I just buy new headlights? Run this test. If the lens is smooth, structurally fine, and the haze is on the surface, restore it. $20 an hour beats $100+ per side every time. If it's cracked, waterlogged, or the reflector's shot, replace it and price the assembly before anybody quotes you labor. My headlights are fine. How do I keep them that way? This is the smartest question in the comment section. Wax or seal them a couple times a year the same way you do paint. Most people never think to. Park facing away from the afternoon sun when you have the choice. And if you've just restored them, that fresh UV coat is the maintenance. It's doing the job the factory coating did for the first 5 years. Protect that, and you may never do this again on this car. The whole video, one breath. The viral $1 powder is a glass compound on plastic. It isn't $1, it isn't permanent, and the link sells an ebook. Bug spray genuinely melts polycarbonate. Never, not once. Toothpaste works for a couple of weeks. WD-40 is makeup that washes off and throws glare. The real fix: wet sand 400 through 2500, polish clear, and then, the step that decides everything, seal it with a UV clear coat or a ceramic kit. $15 to $25, under an hour, 1 to 3 years. And if the fog is inside, or the reflector's dead, or the lens is cracked, stop sanding and price an assembly instead. And the reason any of this matters: 22% of your light versus 70. Half of all fatal crashes happen in the dark. Good headlights are tied to meaningfully fewer nighttime crashes. This is not a detailing tip, it's a safety repair that happens to cost $20 and one Saturday morning. So tonight, when it's dark, go stand in front of your own car with the lights on. Look at the lens. If you can't see the bulb clearly through it, you now know exactly what's wrong, exactly what it costs, and exactly which 3 hacks to never let near your car. Everything today, the fixed steps, the honest limits, the fair prices, lives in the Complete Driver's Defense Kit. $39. First link below.